The age to come would say, "This poet lies." I mean, what a line, right? You find this tucked away in Shakespeare's Sonnet 17, and you have to wonder. A poet basically admitting that people in the future, people like us, might think he's a liar. But what if the lie wasn't about his poetry? What if it was about who he really was?
So today we're diving into a theory that is, well, it's pretty wild. It suggests that Shakespeare's 154 sonnets aren't just beautiful poems. They might be something else entirely. According to this theory, they're actually a massive, complex, cryptographic puzzle, a kind of interlocking machine built to hide a secret signature.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the blueprint of this whole thing, something called a hidden calendar. Then, we'll get into the ciphers needed to crack the code. After that, we'll dig into two huge clues, the seals of day 157 and day 287. We'll also tackle the really weird triple 13 mystery, and then pull it all together to see what could be the author's final stamp.
All right, first things first, we have to get our heads around the foundational idea here. The theory goes that the sonnets aren't just a bunch of poems collected in a book. No, they're supposed to be a single, massive piece of architecture, a structure some people call the Sonnets Pyramid.
So the central idea is this. You take all 2,156 lines from all 15 sonnets, and you map them meticulously onto a 365-day calendar. Every single line lands on a specific day. And it's all organized into these levels called tiers. Just think about that for a second. This theory claims that every word isn't just there for its poetic beauty, but for its exact mathematical position in time. It's a lot.
So, what's a tier exactly? Well, you can think of them like chapters in a book, or maybe better yet, levels in this pyramid structure. The whole collection of sonnets is broken up into 14 of these tiers, and according to the theorists, these divisions are anything but random. They're like the main support beams of this whole puzzle, and the exact points where they start and stop, that's supposedly where the secrets are hidden.
Okay, so you've got this incredible hidden structure, but it's useless if you can't read it, right? You need the keys to unlock it, and that's where cryptography comes in. The theory says the author wove numerical codes all through the text, using ciphers that were actually pretty common back then.
Now, to decode this whole thing, the theory points to two main tools. First, you have the simple cipher. You know, the one where A equals 1, B equals 2, pretty straightforward. But then there's the Kaye Cipher, which is a bit more complex, with different values for the letters. And here's the crucial part. The theory insists you absolutely need both of them to see the full picture.
And here is exactly why having two ciphers is so important. Theorists zero in on this one phrase, FRA ROSI CROSSE. It's Latin, and it means brother of the Rosy Cross, which is almost certainly a nod to the Rosicrucians, a big secret society back in the day. Now, check this out. Using the simple cipher, that phrase adds up to 157. But if you use the Kaye Cipher, the exact same phrase adds up to 287. You got to remember those two numbers, 157 and 287. They are the absolute key to this entire mystery.
So we've got the pyramid structure, and we have our two key numbers. Now, let's see what happens when we put them together. This, according to the theory, is where we find the author's very first, unmistakable seal.
Which leads us to the big question, right? What in the world is so special about day 157 on this hidden calendar? Does anything important happen then?
157. Remember, that's the simple cipher value for brother of the Rosy Cross.
And this is the first big aha moment. According to the structure of this pyramid, day 157 isn't just some random day. It is the exact day that Tier 7 begins. So a major shift in the architecture of the sonnets is marked perfectly by the number 157, our cipher value. And to add another layer to the puzzle, the phrase 182 also adds up to 157 using that same cipher. For the theorists, this is an interconnected web. It's too perfect to ignore.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, that's a cool coincidence. But the whole strength of this theory, at least according to its supporters, isn't in one clue. It's in the repeating patterns. So what about our second number?
Yeah, what about 287, our Kaye cipher value for that exact same phrase? Does it also land on some important day in the secret calendar?
287. Again, from the same phrase, brother of the Rosy Cross, just using that other, more complex key. And unbelievably, the pattern holds. Day 287 in the pyramid structure marks the precise start of another huge section, Tier 12.
So let's just recap. You've got two different numbers calculated with two different ciphers from the very same Latin phrase, and each one just happens to mark the beginning of a major new tier in the sonnets. To the people who believe in this, that's not a coincidence anymore. That's a blueprint. That's a design.
But believe it or not, the rabbit hole goes even deeper. Because beyond these two seals, there's another alignment of numbers that is just, it's so strange, it seems almost impossible for it to be an accident. It's what researchers have dubbed the triple 13 mystery.
Okay, get ready for this one. On day 313 of the calendar, the entire structure moves into tier 13. Simple enough, right? But guess which sonnet starts on that exact day? Sonnet 133. So you've got day 313, tier 13, sonnet 133. A triple 13. I mean, that feels like it's screaming at you, right? Like it's absolutely intentional.
And there's one last twist with this whole tier 13 thing. It ends on line 2001 of the complete sonnet collection. Now look, the math to get from here to there it's really complex, but the claim is that the number 2001 can be resolved back down to, wait for it, 287. That's our second seal. It's like a loop. The end of this crazy triple 13 section points right back to one of the author's main signatures.
Okay, so let's just step back and look at what we've got. A complex calendar, secret codes, two numerical seals that land on major structural points, a totally baffling triple number alignment, and a recursive loop that ties it all together. What does it all mean? Where are all these breadcrumbs supposed to lead?
Well, for the people who believe in this theory, the conclusion is pretty clear. This isn't just some clever game, it's a signature. It's a way for the real author, maybe somebody connected to the Rosicrucians, to literally weave their identity into the DNA of the work itself, to create a kind of mathematical proof of authorship that could lie dormant for centuries, just waiting for someone to find the keys and unlock it. And that's where we're left, with this massive question. Are we looking at an incredibly intricate message? A cryptographic masterpiece that's been hiding in plain sight for more than 400 years? Or are we just seeing patterns where there are none? A fascinating but ultimately coincidental jumble of numbers. That's the mystery. And what you believe, well, that's up to you.